Welcome to the Growing Your Business podcast, a program created to answer the question, what's in it for me, for both the business and their customers. Today's guest had this to say.
People are your weakest link, but they also can be your greatest line of defense. And one of the things we really focus on is turning your people into cyber warriors, creating that safe place, that see something, say something environment where people are rewarded for reporting suspicious behavior, even if they initially interacted with it. Right. It's okay. When you see something, report it. We're going to take care of it. You did your job. We're all learning here together.
Now, stay tuned as we hear more on their values, mission, and why they continue to grow their business. So joining me today on the Growing Your Business podcast is Melanie Padron with ArchiTeks. Melanie, thanks for being here.
Thanks, buddy. I'm so excited.
Yes, it's been a long time coming. I'm glad we finally got together on the show.
Yes, it has.
All right, so tell me, I like to start the same place. What do you offer and what makes you stand out? That's a short question with a very long answer, I suspect.
Tell me about yourself.
Yes, tell me everything.
Well, ArchiTeks is a veteran-owned provider of cybersecurity and IT solutions. I always tell people we've traded our military uniforms for keyboards, but our mission remains the same, and that's just protecting American business. We have a security-first mindset, which is something that does make us a little bit different than the other IT shops out there. And that just means we focus heavily on proactive cybersecurity to help avoid loss. So we are headquartered in Frisco. We have a location in Houston, but we have customers all over the United States.
Tell me a little bit about ArchiTeks' history.
Okay.
You know, the longer answer.
Yeah.
Like how long has it been in business?
Okay. So ArchiTeks was opened in 2004, actually.
Okay.
Our owner...
Been around a while.
Yes. Both of our owners served in active duty military, and they came out and went to a military job fair, worked for Perot Systems for a little while, but the entrepreneurial bug bit our owner, and he wanted to own his own IT shop. And so we started as sort of a break-fix IT shop. But now we are a managed services provider focusing, as I said, heavily on that proactive cybersecurity to avoid loss.
Now, most of our listeners and viewers are medium to small businesses.
Yes.
And I think there's a myth that the cybersecurity is something only big companies can afford or even need. So tell me some facts related to small and medium businesses and where the needs are there.
Absolutely. So I will start by saying that I grew up in working at my family's small chain of convenience stores. So small business really is important to us. ArchiTeks today is in fact considered a small business. So we're very passionate about serving the small businesses in our local communities. And what I hear all the time is, from my small business friends, is I'm just too small to be hacked. I am not on a criminal's radar. There is no way. And we know that is not true. Criminals do not care what size you are. They're not just looking for your money. They're looking for your identity. They're looking to commit fraud in your name. No. You're not too small to be hacked. You are just too small to make the news.
Right.
We hear about the big sensationalized, hacks and criminal gangs on the news. But the truth is small businesses are being hit every single day. And the criminals don't care whether you live in small town USA or New York. With the rise of AI, they are casting these wide nets. They're sending out thousands of phishing emails, and they're just looking for one person to make one wrong click on a bad day.
And anyone in your infrastructure, contractors or whatnot, could easily do that.
Absolutely.
Share some statistics, because I know we all speak in numbers, charts and whatnot. That appeals to some of us to actually see what does it look like for small and medium businesses.
I will tell you that 90% of all hacks come from the human element, some form of a human element. People can be your weakest link. We are fallible human beings, right? We get, we have a bad day. We have personal issues. We get rushed. Anytime one of those things is happening, it makes you susceptible to opening that email, clicking on a link, sending your credentials somewhere that maybe they shouldn't be going. And I will tell you that from click to compromise, a recent study has shown that it takes 49 seconds for criminals to hack your system. From the moment you open an email to the moment you click on a link to the moment you accidentally send your credentials somewhere. Not 49 hours, not 49 weeks,
seconds.
49 seconds. That's less than a time it takes to heat up a cup of coffee.
That's right. And, I know you have several success stories. And I mean, obviously the scary stories, we all have those. And I have one. I'm the owner of my company. I feel like, and this is embarrassing, and I know someone's going to put a comment in the show, but I feel like I'm relatively savvy, even for my age, whatnot.
Absolutely.
But, and I clicked on a link it looked like it was a contract from a colleague. And they said, buddy, can you review this contract? I wasn't expecting it. And I was like, it's that moment, kind of like you're having your coffee, you're going through emails. I clicked on it and it was a worm that changed the rules in my email,
Yes.
sent it to everybody,
Right.
and then sent them responses saying, yes, please open this file. If they didn't open it at first, what stopped it was I got a phone call from a friend and said, buddy, why'd you send me a contract? And I was like, oh no. So then I got on the phone, but my my service provider shut our system email down for 3 days, and luckily it wasn't connected to our in-house server. Otherwise, it would have been much worse.
Right. Very similar to a local business owner that recently contracted with us. They're now my valued customer. She received an email from a trusted colleague, someone she just talked to the day before, right?
Yep.
He sent her an email with a document that she needed to sign. Not unusual, right?
Yeah.
So she opened it up, and she had been listening to me at the chamber
Thank
every
goodness.
week.
Yeah.
And something just seemed off. She'd just spoken to the gentleman the day before. He didn't mention anything about changing any of the payment details or any of their contracts. Yeah. So she thought twice, and she emailed him back actually first. Emailed him back and said, hey, did you really send this? And he's like, yeah, it was from me. But buddy, it was the bad guy that set up a rule to auto-respond to her.
It sounds like she and I had the same problem, but
yes.
she had the benefit that I didn't have, which is you. Yes.
She did pick up the phone, though.
Yeah.
What I would tell your audience to do is pick up the phone and verify. Don't use the phone number in the email. Don't use the phone number. They're coming through text now. They're also leaving deep fake voicemails now. Pick up the phone and use the number that you have for them and verify. Just a few minutes in verification can cost you so much in loss down the road.
That makes perfect sense. Tell me some other stories. It's interesting that was a common thing.
Yes.
And a lot of us are over that, I think, but not true. And there are still people that it's affecting because they haven't, if they're listening to this podcast, they're learning, but otherwise they don't know until they figure it out themselves.
Yeah. Ransomware is another big one. So we've helped 4 customers recently through ransomware situations. 3 of them came to us after they were hacked, after they were attacked. One of those, unfortunately, ended up losing 20 years of data.
Oh, my God.
One of them went through a year-long recovery process, forensics investigation, only to find out that the bad guys had been in their system for over a year. Watching, waiting, collecting information, imitating the CEO, communicating with his staff, setting things up. They actually took that information, sold it on the dark web to a second criminal gang that then deployed the ransomware.
Unreal.
Third company, most sadly, was a century-year-old trucking company that went out of business entirely. They were able to carry on for about another year, but ended up having to close their doors. So that's what happens when you're reactive with a cyber attack. Now, one success story is a customer that was already on board with us upgraded to our full cybersecurity stack. This was in July. In December, they were hit with a sophisticated ransomware attack out of Russia. They had a relatively short 5-day forensics investigation because our bells and whistles went off, our incident response team sprang into action, we contained, we isolated. 5 days after that investigation was closed, we had them back up and running in 18 hours, 0 data loss, 0 ransom paid. The lesson here is that this wasn't about luck. This was about preparation. It's not when you're going to get hit, it's are you going to be prepared when you are.
Stay with us. The Growing Your Business podcast will return right after this. The Growing Your Business podcast is sponsored in part by Visual Learning Solutions. Stands out with its expertise in crafting immersive audio and video experiences. Their creative team has over 30 years of experience delivering dynamic internal training programs tailored to various industries. They ensure the audience receives a compelling message, promotes brand awareness, and increases return on investment. They also excel in producing marketing content. Learn more at their website, visuallearningsolutions.com. Please check our show notes for sponsorship links and additional details. Now, back to the Growing Your Business podcast with Buddy Broyles. So, dispel a little bit of the myths for someone like me who, like I said, I want to think I'm savvy.
Yeah.
I'm not. So tell me a little bit about the service you offer and how they work. As in, kind of the trick is the value proposition is difficult for a lot of people who are reactive. So get ahead of that for me. Talk about your services and what they do. Yeah.
So first of all, I wouldn't say that you're not savvy. I'm just saying that the criminals are so bad. They literally have ransomware as a service training programs where they come in and teach them how to be criminals. Even a novice criminal can profit. So we just have to continually talk about these things. These can't be embarrassing moments. You said earlier you were embarrassed.
Sure.
No, it's not embarrassing. They're just really, really bad. And
Yeah.
we have to continue to create this environment of see something, say something, rewarding people for reporting suspicious behavior,
Good point.
making it a safe place to talk about these things so that we can all learn from each other. So IT ArchiTeks has a small business cyber solution. It covers 8 core areas of security. It's designed affordably to meet the small business owner where they're at and yet grow with them as their business evolves. And so that would be the first place to start. And we do start with a cybersecurity risk assessment. And that's where we come in and we identify all the potential vulnerabilities before they become problems. Kind of like you go to your annual checkup to determine where your health issues are before it becomes a disease. So we come in and that's our baseline, a cybersecurity risk assessment. And then we implement our small business cybersecurity shield solution. And then we work with you to budget and to prioritize your future security needs so that we can get you where you need to be.
That's fantastic. How is AI affecting? I imagine AI is evolving constantly.
Yeah.
And how are you employing it, if you are? And 2, what are we seeing from the bad guys' perspective?
I know everybody's scared of AI. They think it's going to take over the world and take over our jobs. The truth is the bad guys are learning to use AI, and we, the good guys, have to learn to wield it too. Okay, it's
It's a tool.
Yes, it is a tool. So all of our cybersecurity tools and all of our monitoring programs all use AI. It's able to take in just mass amounts of data, filter through it. What's a threat? What's a non-threat? And then ultimately, I like to think of AI as a thought partner. Humans will always be the thought leaders. And so as AI filters through all of these alerts, it sends those valid alerts to us, the humans, to verify, is this a real situation or not? And one of the things that's special about us is that we are connected and partnered with a forensics company and an incident response team. So the minute a legit alert comes in, we and the incident response team spring into action immediately together. There is no time lost. Typically, an IT company or an MSP would have to find and engage with this forensics company. We're already there. Things are happening immediately, and time is of the essence. When you are under a cyber attack, those first minutes, those first hours, critical.
Well, let's say I'm smart and I figured out I clearly need this for my business. And even for a small business, you can go out of business immediately.
Yes.
If you don't, it's like you said, compare it to your body. If you're not paying attention, ignoring the signs, you're going to be in trouble. Get ahead of it.
Yep.
So talk me through the customer journey. How would I get started? Let's say I picked the phone, Melanie, I need your business. I need your help. Where do we go from there?
Absolutely. So we would sign you up for managed services. We would, our team would immediately start with that cybersecurity risk assessment. We're going to evaluate your people, your applications, your network, your data. We're going to get that baseline. Then we're going to start to implement our cybersecurity tools, everything from your email protection, your spam filtering. We're going to help you with the dreaded long, complicated passwords. We're going to give you a password manager that creates and stores all of those for you. Then we're going to start setting up our security operations center. And this is all done behind the scenes. It does not interfere with the business operation at all.
Right.
And then we start monitoring that. And then our security operations center starts taking in all of the data and starts analyzing things. And what's your normal? And is it normal for you to have someone from another country trying to access your system? Is it normal for someone somewhere else in the United States? Do you have other offices? Do you have people traveling to those locations? What is your normal? We're going to start to learn your business and just get started protecting you.
And I imagine your team, within that first couple of weeks of working with the customer, I imagine, and I want to venture to say, it probably pays for itself almost immediately in being able to sleep.
Absolutely.
Knowing that okay, now we're covered. Now our logistics, our assets, all of our data is protected, and not to mention they probably start seeing how much activity has been happening.
Yes.
Without that protection.
Yep. So peace of mind is everything.
It is.
We're going to, Also, start with your people, educating your people. Cyber awareness training, people are your weakest link, but they also can be your greatest line of defense. And one of the things we really focus on is turning your people into cyber warriors, creating that safe place, that see something, say something environment where people are rewarded for reporting suspicious behavior, even if they initially interacted with it.
Right.
It's okay. When you see something, report it. We're going to take care of it. You did your job. We're all learning here together.
I like what you said earlier about creating a culture where reporting, even if you clicked on it, being rewarded for reporting, as in making it's okay. The best thing you can do is the moment you figure it out, pick up the phone, walk down the hall, whatever is best.
100%.
So we talked a little bit about email and other ways we can be attacked. Cloud services are a big thing. Like the things that come to mind are like AWS and whatnot. How is that working? I mean, how are they attacking those?
Yeah. So I will tell you that criminals know they only have to hack one cloud-based vendor to gain access to hundreds, if not thousands of businesses. Change Healthcare happened last year. Change Healthcare provides data services to hospitals, doctors' offices, dentists, insurance companies, like everything. They were hacked. And medical offices across industries went down for weeks and months. Insurance companies couldn't file claims.
Incredible.
It was a disaster. In the automobile industry, CDK Global, same thing. They provide vendor-based services to automobile and truck dealerships. They were hacked and 10,000 auto dealerships went down. They were literally going back to triplicate. Where's my triplicate paper? Where is my calculator? Do I have the right kind of pencil to use? They were driving paperwork to the DMVs. It was crippling. And do you know who suffers when a cloud-based vendor is hacked? It's all of those businesses that use the services. And so it's very important that you ask your vendors what their security practices are and that you vet them. You've got to vet them. When was the last time you read the fine print of any of those?
Almost never.
I'll tell you that they are held harmless. They are indemnified in the event that they're hacked and you go down. It's not, their security is 100% your security. And those types of attacks are up by 82%. So the attackers know, the criminals know that it's very profitable to hack into one business and gain access to thousands of others.
So talk to me about the best ways to reach you.
Okay, so I'm on LinkedIn. You can look me up, Melanie Padron. I do a ton of free cyber awareness training.
I've seen them. They're great.
Oh,
yeah, I can attest to that. They're
Thank
wonderful.
you.
Yeah.
I try to do 5-minute segments every week, but also if an important news article comes through or a new alert from the FBI, I'll do a little 2-minute security checkpoint. So yeah, LinkedIn, absolutely. I'm very active there. You can also go to itarchiteks.com. We have a free cyber awareness checkpoint right on the front of our website. There's a button. Click on that. Go ahead and give yourself a little cyber, update. See how cyber savvy you are. I offer free cybersecurity meetings as well. 15, 20-minute meetings. Just trying to get to know you, get a plan of action, a point for going forward, see if we're a good fit. So absolutely, look me up, itarchiteks.com, which is spelled a little bit uniquely. It's IT and then it's architects, ARCHI, and then it's TEKS, like text.
Right. And I'll make it easy on them. Just scroll down, wherever you're listening, just check the show notes. Those links are there. Just click on the links and you'll follow right through.
Fantastic.
But definitely follow and find Melanie on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're connected and I keep up with all of your stuff just because it's one of those things that it's changing daily.
Yes.
Daily. And it's like you said, it's not just the news. We're all affected every day.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're just scrolling through your mailbox, you'll see you get emails from random people and they can get your email and they will email you.
Yep. And it's coming through text and phone now too. I mean, don't ever click on a link in your text. Don't ever go to that other website. Don't do that. Always pick up the phone and call direct.
Yeah, especially if it's from a financial institution. I see theirs all the time. It kind of freaks me out.
Yeah.
Parting thoughts, Melanie.
Yeah. I would just say, I always tell people to be politely paranoid. Trust but verify. If something doesn't feel right, listen to your gut. It's probably not right. But also, with the rise of AI, these scams are getting much more difficult to recognize. They're not coming from the Prince of Nigeria with tons of spelling mistakes anymore. So always be politely paranoid. That's the motto that I live by.
That's great. Politely paranoid. I'll definitely do that. Well, Melanie, I really appreciate you being on the show, coming and sharing this really important information because it's critical. You may be great at running your business. You may have a great team, but all it takes is one errant click,
Yes.
not paying attention while you're drinking your coffee, and
Mhm.
it can bring even a century-old business down.
That's right.
Completely out. So
You're
thank you so
absolutely
much
right.
for being here.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. It's been so fun.
Thank you for joining us today on the Growing Your Business podcast. Please see the show notes for links to our sponsors, our social media, and to learn more about today's guest.